Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Welcome to Chemistry Class C2. We will be starting from Unit 14, Salts and Identification of Ions. And resources which are used to cover this topic is your book Christopher N. Prescott, Unit 14, page number 186 to 192. Education video is also provided at the end of the lesson. You can also consult Chemistry Matters. Now the methodology. Discussion and explanation of the topic is done through audio and visual aids. Diagrams are also given for more conceptual clearance. Education videos are also provided at the end of the lesson, which will be helpful for better understanding of topic. When the topic will be completed, a homework assignment is also given which you need to solve. Now the recalling of previous knowledge, that salts is a compound that is formed when the hydrogen atom in an acid is replaced by a metal. For example, if we replace the hydrogen in HCl with the potassium atom, then the salt potassium chloride is formed. Salts are an important branch of chemistry due to the varied and important uses of this class of compounds. These uses include fertilizers, batteries, cleaning products, healthcare products and fungicides. Now the objectives of this lesson. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to describe the techniques used in the preparation, separation and purification of salts. Methods for preparation should include precipitation and titration together with reactions of acids with metal, insoluble bases and insoluble carbonates. Describe the general rules of solubility for common salts to include nitrates, chlorides including silver and lead, sulfates including barium, calcium and lead, carbonates, hydroxides, group 1 cations and ammonium salts. Suggest a method of preparing a given salt from suitable starting materials given appropriate information. Now the preparation of salts. When you are going to prepare a salt, there are few questions which comes in our mind, that how do we make salts, what preparations are available to us. Three basic methods for preparing salts are described on this page. Before preparing a salt, there are two important facts to know. Is the salt is soluble or insoluble? If using a base, is it soluble or insoluble? Because these facts decide which method you use. Now look at this flowchart diagram. When going to prepare a salt, look at this. Is the salt to be prepared soluble in water? If the answer is yes, then there will be a reaction with acids. That reaction of acids with metal, with base or carbonate. If the salt is not soluble in water, then precipitation method is used. Again, when the soluble salt is prepared, then again, is the starting material for making the salt soluble in water? If the answer is yes, then the titration method is used. That in titration method, acid plus alkali solution or acid plus carbonate solution. If the answer is no, then the reaction of acids with metals, insoluble bases or insoluble carbonates. In both cases, a soluble salt will be prepared. In case of soluble salt solution, then you have to prepare the crystals, you have to concentrate the crystals and then filter it. Now the preparation of soluble salts. We know that there are four methods of preparing salts, soluble salts. The number one is the reaction of acid with metals. And in metals, the metals which react with the acids, they are magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron and tin. And the products will be salt and hydrogen. The next one is the reaction of acid with carbonates. When the carbonates react with acid, salt, carbon dioxide and water are formed. And in case of reaction of acid with alkalis, means soluble bases, then salt and water is formed. And in case of reaction with base metal, means insoluble bases, then salt and water is formed. Now in preparation of soluble salts, with the help of flowchart, we know that the salts are prepared by reacting an acid with a metal or a base, such as metal carbonate, hydroxide or oxide. The acid provides the non-metal ion for the salt, for example chloride or sulfate or nitrate ions. The metal or base provides the metal ion for the salt, for example sodium or copper. The metal used to produce a particular salt depends on two factors: the solubility of the base used and the solubility of the salt to be made. Now the solubility of common salts. Since all acids are aqueous solution, the acid needed does not directly affect the method of preparation. The following table summarizes the solubilities of the various bases and salts. Knowing whether a salt is soluble or not is useful information when deciding how to prepare the salt. So you have to learn this table of solubility of salts. Look at this table that all sodium salts, potassium salts, ammonium salts and all nitrates are soluble. All chlorides, iodides, they are soluble except lead-2 chloride, lead-2 iodide, silver chloride, silver iodide. All sulfates are soluble except barium sulfate, calcium sulfate, lead-2 sulfate. When talking about carbonate, sodium carbonate, potassium carbonate, ammonium carbonate, they are soluble except the other carbonates. By knowing these facts, you can easily state whether a salt is soluble or insoluble. Now the methods of preparing salts. We know that there are three main methods of preparing salts. Number one is for a metal or insoluble base reacting with an acid to produce a soluble salt. Then filtration method is used. For example, reacting copper 2 oxide with sulfuric acid to make copper 2 sulfate. For a soluble base reacting with an acid to produce a soluble salt, then titration method is used. For example, reacting sodium hydroxide with hydrochloric acid to make sodium chloride. Number third, for an insoluble base reacting with an acid to produce an insoluble salt, a two-stage process is involved. Filtration and then precipitation is used. For example, reacting lead-2 oxide firstly with nitric acid to produce lead-2 nitrate and then reacting the lead-2 nitrate with aqueous iodide ions to produce lead-2 iodide. Now we will discuss the methods to prepare soluble salts. Method A. Adding acid to a solid metal, base or carbonate. The method which is used, that is, add dilute acid into a beaker and heat using a Bunsen burner flame. Add the insoluble metal, base or carbonate a little at a time to the warm dilute acid and stir until the base is in excess. That is, until the base stops disappearing and a suspension of the base forms in the acid. Filter the mixture into an evaporating basin, which is also called evaporating dish, to remove the excess base. Heat the solution to evaporate water and to make the solution saturated. Check the solution is saturated by dipping a cold glass rod into the solution and seeing if the crystals form on the end. Leave the filtrate in a warm place to dry and crystallize. Decant excess solution and allow crystals to dry. Now let's discuss the preparation of pure hydrated copper sulfate crystals by using method A. For this, acid which will be used, that is dilute sulfuric acid, and the insoluble base which will be used, that is copper 2 oxide. The method: add dilute sulfuric acid into a beaker and heat using a Bunsen burner flame. Add copper 2 oxide, which is insoluble base, a little at a time to the warm dilute sulfuric acid and stir until the copper 2 oxide is in excess, that is, stops disappearing. This is very important point. We have to use excess copper 2 oxide in order to make sure that all the acid has been reacted. Now filter the mixture into an evaporating basin to remove the excess copper 2 oxide. Leave the filtrate in a warm place to dry and crystallize. Decant excess solution, blot crystals dry, and the equation for this reaction is copper 2 oxide plus dilute sulfuric acid. It will give copper 2 sulfate and water. Now we can recap method A: dissolve, stir, filter, evaporate and crystallize. In first diagram, you have to dissolve copper 2 oxide. In second, stir the mixture. In third, filter the mixture and then evaporate and crystallize it. Now let's discuss method B, reacting a dilute acid and alkali. Method B is the titration method. In this method, we will use a pipette to measure the alkali into a conical flask and add a few drops of indicator. We know about the indicators, that is phenolphthalein or methyl orange. Phenolphthalein is colorless in acidic medium and pink in alkaline medium. Methyl orange is red in acid medium and yellow in alkaline medium. Now add the acid into the burette and note the starting volume. Add the acid very slowly from the burette to the conical flask until the indicator changes to appropriate color. Note and record the final volume of acid in burette and calculate the volume of acid added. Add this same volume of acid into the same volume of alkali without the indicator. Heat to partially evaporate, leaving a saturated solution. Then leave to crystallize, decant excess solution and allow crystals to dry. Now students, look at this diagram. The process shown is titration method. In titration method, we will add an acid from a burette into a conical flask which contains the alkali, which is colored by 2 to 3 drops of a suitable indicator, which is phenolphthalein. The alkali is accurately measured out by using a pipette. The end of the titration is called the end point and is reached when the color of the indicator in the alkali changes. At this point, neutralization has occurred and a salt and water is formed. Now let's discuss the preparation of insoluble salts. Insoluble salts can be prepared by using a precipitation reaction. This reaction is defined as a reaction in which a solid product is formed when two solutions are mixed together. Now what is the precipitate? The solid salt obtained is the precipitate. Thus, in order to successfully use this method, the solid salt being formed must be insoluble in water, and the two reactants which are used, that should be soluble reactants. Now let's discuss the method. Dissolve soluble salts in water and mix together using a stirring rod in a beaker. Filter to remove precipitate from mixture. Wash filtrate with water to remove traces of other solutions. Leave in an oven to dry. Now let's discuss the example of preparation of pure dry lead 2 sulfate crystals using a precipitation reaction. The two soluble salts which are used, that is lead 2 nitrate, and the other soluble salt is potassium sulfate. Now discuss the method. Dissolve lead 2 nitrate and potassium sulfate in water and mix together using a stirring rod in a beaker. Now filter to remove precipitate from the mixture. Wash filtrate with water to remove traces of potassium nitrate solution. Leave in an oven to dry. Now what is the equation for this reaction? Lead 2 nitrate plus potassium sulfate will give lead 2 sulfate plus potassium nitrate. Now look at this diagram carefully. In this diagram, mix the aqueous solutions of reactants. As soon as they are mixed together, the precipitates of insoluble products are formed, which is called the precipitate. Now a brief review of method of preparation of salts. When deciding the method of preparation, it is important to know whether the salt being produced is soluble or insoluble. If it is soluble, then it can be prepared by using either method A or B for preparing a soluble salt. If it is insoluble, then it must be prepared by using a precipitation method. Now the recap of the lesson. We know that there are two types of salts, insoluble salt and soluble salt. Insoluble salt that undissolve in water at room temperature and soluble salt that dissolve in water at room temperature. Before preparing salt, we must know whether the salt is soluble or insoluble, and then they have different methods to prepare the salts. Now video links are given. You have to watch them for more understanding of topic and conceptual clearance.